What you want is what we call modals. May, might, could. You know, modals. But hey, you're the astrology editor of Glamour magazine. You're supposed to predict the future.
Well.
Oh, no. Don't tell me. Horoscopes aren't true. And my horoscope said I was going to be lucky today.
Look, I didn't come here to defend or apologise for astrology.
It's just a job for me.
What do you mean you don't believe in it? How could you not believe in... Venus and Mars are strongly opposed. Romance could be ill-fated. You should end that troublesome relationship now. Big personal decisions may be called for. Now is the time to act. If you're feeling totally confused, you might want a little lie down. That kind of thing.
I'm not a believer. To me, it's all superstition. But thank God my readers do, because it pays my rent.
Well, you would think like that, wouldn't you?
Why?
Because you're an Aquarius. You lot are so cynical. Not like us Leos, no.
Well, at least I get paid for it, And I'll take all 4 of those modals. Thank you.
Tom?
Yes?
Can you lend me some money?
Well, I would, but I'm a bit short myself.
Lucy!
What?
Well, I was kind of like wondering that perhaps if you wouldn't mind that maybe if you should not want to wear your red jumper, that maybe I could, borrow it.
Did you notice what happened to the verbs there? They had extra bits added on. Would, could, can, may, might. These extra bits are called modal verbs, and they come in very handy when asking for permission, being polite, or expressing possibility.
A lot of American-style language turns nouns into verbs.
Hi, Rona. Fine. Me? Long story. Remember when I conferenced that big deal with R&R? Well, Friday I breakfasted with the big chief herself. Quizzed me real hard. Nervous, I was wired, but I just eyeballed her real good. Toughed it out. Anyway, Saturday we golfed some. Next thing, it's all go. They actioned the deal. So later we go to Ray's place. You know how it is. We cocktailed a little, we partied a little. Anyway, it's late. I motor back when wham! This guy rear ends me. Oh, I'm fine, but I totaled the car. Hey, enough jawing about me. Let's lunch sometime. No can do, stupid. No wheels, remember? I'm grounded.
OK, so you think you can tell the difference between nouns and verbs?
The music started up and the dance began.
She started to dance in the street.
Kiss is a verb because you actually kiss someone.
But you can say the kiss.
Place.
It's a verb.
It's a noun, a place.
But you can place something, can't you?
The horse cleared the jump.
She wanted to jump for joy.
It's impossible to tell whether these words were nouns or verbs when they're on their own. They become nouns or verbs depending on how they're used.
This is the Children's Society. As they say in their brochure, their aim is to make sure that children all over the country get a fair deal. Maya Bose works for the advertising agency which produces all their publicity.
Okay, the main thing that we need to do with this poster is build awareness of the Children's Society. So really what this is about is the attitude of the Children's Society, yeah?
And should it look like it's actually coming from kids? So we're saying we let them speak out, it should be like we do this for them.
Yeah, what sort of statement do you want to make? Do you want some sort of, or is it more sort of, or is it real, it's not a real, is it real cutesy, or is it?
No, it's neither cutesy nor aggressive, it's sort of in the middle. I think
it's quite sort of streetwise.
It's quite streetwise, yeah. I think it's got to be a little bit provocative. As opposed to you've just got one chance to get people to listen to it. You can't really go into a lot of detail, so it has to be quite sort of short and snappy. And you've got to think very carefully about some of the words, and in particular some of the verbs that you use on there, which can capture what we're trying to say. Things like, we speak out, hearing, listening, acting, and also giving. And from the child's point of view, they need to be heard. And they need to be able to speak out about the issues and the problems that they face. And what we're trying to say is that the Children's Society gives them a voice to be heard.
Hang on. What were the key words? What did Maya say in the brief? Key words were. It was like listening.
Yeah, talking.
Listening or speaking. Talking, listening. Is it hearing? It's mainly
being heard.
It's mainly listening, isn't it?
We've got to find an interesting way of getting across a child saying, listen to me.
Yeah,
I want to be heard.
I want you to listen to me, or
Yeah.
can you listen to me?
On its own. Oh, yeah, can you?
It needs to be more positive. It needs to be more sort of bolshy, doesn't it? What are the sort of phrases that people say to kids? We can reverse one. Children should be seen and not heard. It's been done. Something like that.
You need a good talking to. You need a damn good talking to. Damn.
Yeah.
Can't have damn in, but.
I need. Yeah, you don't need really. What I need.
Just simple
is
as possible.
What I need is a good listening type.
That's good.
Children's Society run 136 projects that cover about 10 different areas of childcare. And what we wanted to do was find something that actually ran through all of their work. The line, what I need is a good listening to, makes you look again. It's a very strong line because it's obviously taking what I need is a good talking to and turning it on its head. And it's quite defiant, it's quite powerful. You know, this child is almost demanding that you listen to him.
2 verbs, need and listen, were the starting point for this slogan. Need has stayed as a verb, but listen has developed into a good listening to, which is no longer a verb, it's a noun phrase. So the advertising agency has turned around a good talking to, which is another well-known noun phrase.
I'm from the advertising agency that does all the advertising for the Children's Society. And as you know, the project we're at today is actually run by the Children's Society. And what I'd like to do is talk to you about their advertising and get your views on it. I've brought along some examples of their work. And if we actually look at this poster in particular, what I need is a good listening to. What do you think that's trying to say to you?
Saying that no one's listening to him and he wants someone to hear what he has to say.
Is it something that happens every day? I mean, do adults listen to young people?
And they don't listen to you when something happens and you're getting the blame for it and you never did it. Something like that.
Does that happen sometimes then?
Yeah.
You get the blame for things you didn't do?
Yeah.
And the way that this is worded, that's different from the leaflets that we've got. I mean, this one says, please listen to me. I mean, if we put on the poster, could you listen to me or can you listen to me? Do you think that would be different? Do you think you feel differently about the line?
I think if it was, can you listen to me or would you listen to me, it wouldn't go right because it's like asking for help or begging for help.
And then the picture of him, he doesn't have that sort of expression.
Yeah.
Most sentences contain a verb. Modals are words such as could, should, might, may, and would. And using them increases the flexibility of the verb. It could make them less definite or more polite, or both.
What I've been trying to impress upon you is that language is your ally. Never admit responsibility. Evasive action at all times. I could have been in the war, you know. Manoeuvres, tactics, I know a lot. Words, that's the name of the game. And how never to get the blame. I mean, look what he's trying to teach him at the moment. Passive verbs. Verb, a doing word. Passive, doing nothing. Put them together, what have you got? Off the hook. He hasn't quite got the point that by using them you can distance yourself from any blame by saying it was, it got, it has been, etc, etc. Take what happened to me once. Clara, what's happened to my bone china teapot that Auntie Susie gave me for a wedding present and that I was going to get valued at the Antiques Roadshow? It got broken, Mum. Do you like this stainless steel one? I got it with my pocket money. Oh, Clara. You see, honesty is the best policy. To a point. Break the news. It got broken, Mum. Passive verb. But leave out the tiresome details like by who, how or when. By me playing five-a-side football in the front room when it was raining.
If you'd like to order your copy of the free programme guide that accompanies this series, then please contact BBC Education Information on 081 746 1111. That's 081 746 1111. Words and Pictures in a couple of minutes tells the story of Michael, who finds different creatures waiting for him each time he opens the door. Before that, on BBC2, the news at 2 o'clock with Moria Stewart.
Good afternoon. A High Court judge has ruled that radiation from Sellafield in Cumbria did not cause cancer in the children of 2 former employees at the plant.
It was the first time a British court had been asked to decide personal injury claims on alleged genetic damage passed on from the father. The 2 families from Cumbria decided to go ahead with the action against British nuclear fuels a year ago. In one case, a baby died in 1962. The other child involved became ill with cancer but was successfully treated. The families said the illnesses were caused by both fathers being exposed to an overdose of radiation. It was an important test case. 40 other potential claims depended on the court's decision.
The Prime Minister is expected to make a passionate appeal for party unity when he makes the closing speech at the Conservative conference in Blackpool this afternoon.
The conference has gone more smoothly than organisers had dared to hope. But the party leadership knows that behind conference harmony, factions are staking their positions. The strategy of the chairman this morning and the Prime Minister this afternoon is to call on all Tories to return to their root values.
Madam Chairman, this party believes in the principle of our monarchy and we will always defend it.
Mr Major's speech is not make or break, but it could help determine whether he can turn the tide in his favour when MPs return to Westminster.
Emma Udwin reporting. The child murderer Leslie Bailey has been found dead in suspicious circumstances in his cell at Whitemoor Prison in Cambridgeshire. Bailey was serving life imprisonment for his part in the killing of 3 young boys. A post-mortem examination found he died of strangulation. That's it for now. More news after the Prime Minister's speech in Blackpool. Coverage here on BBC2 starts at 2:15.
Good afternoon to you. Well, the weather radar tells a story. Those bright colours down there over southern Wales bringing some heavy rainfall, over ½ inch in some places during the morning, and further showery rain over the northwest there of Scotland. That heavy shower rain is going to push its way gradually eastwards and northwards as we go through the afternoon. Some further showers there getting into those northern eastern coastal areas. In between, well, quite a bit of dry and sunny weather, quite pleasant I think over East Anglia. Dry skies over Scotland and Northern Ireland, but further rain for the northwest and the best temperatures in the south and east.
Now on BBC2, a surprise or two for Michael in Words and Pictures.
Words and Pictures. Words and Pictures.
Hello. There's something rather interesting about this door. Every time I open it, I can see something different. I wonder what that is. Dinosaur. Now, when I open it again, there'll be something different there. Wonder what that could be. A donkey. Ah. Duck. Ruff. Now I think I know what that is. Ruff. 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 Dog. Door. Dog. What else can you see that starts with the same sound? This is Mary. Her dogs are special dogs. They're called pat dogs. Sometimes they visit schools.
This is Albert, and this is Ellie. You mustn't go up to a dog unless you know the dog and the owner. And then you have to ask the owner if you can stroke the dog first.
How big is Ellie?
That's how tall Ellie is.
How big is Albert?
Come on, up you get. There's a good boy. There, that's how big Albert is. There. And if I pick Ellie up so she doesn't get squashed, would you like to stroke Albert and Ellie? Come on then. Albert and Ellie are both pat dogs. We go round old people's homes and the hospitals where people can't keep dogs.
How do dogs help people in hospital?
Well, it helps them get better because people love cuddling dogs. You like stroking and cuddling him, don't you?
Yes.
Yes. Only let's face it, somebody Albert's size, you wouldn't be able to keep him in a home like you've got, would you?
He would have to live in our garage.
Would he? We're off to find Jan now. She lives in a home where they can't have dogs. So we're going to find her and we'll see you all again soon, OK? Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.
There's Jan. And Mary's arrived with the dogs for a visit. Jan lives in an Abbeyfield home.
Abbeyfield homes are a great place to live in when you're getting old. Come in. Good morning, Mary.
Oh, Albert, lovely to see you.
Hello, Albert. Come on. Come on round here and look at me. How are you this morning? Oh, Albert, I did wash my face this morning, you know. I did. Would you like a cup of coffee,
I'd
Mary?
love a cup of coffee, thank you.
Where have you been today?
I've been to the school round the corner.
Yes.
Met the children.
Manage, Mary.
Thank you very much.
Albert, look. Would you like
Look,
a
that way.
biscuit? Oh, would you? There you are. You nearly had my finger as well. Listen, Albert, I once had a dog, but it wasn't as big as you. It was only a cocker spaniel. That's him up there, Mary.
What was his name?
Morag. It was a she, really. Well, I think, Mary, that Albert wants a bit of fresh air now.
Yes. Come along then, Albert.
That's it.
Come on then, Albert. Let's go down to the park. Bye-bye.
Bye, Mary. Pet dogs are a great comfort to people who have to give up their own animals when they come to live in a place like this.
I'm trying to find out what sort of a dog Albert was. There are lots of different breeds of dog. This one looks a bit like Albert. It's an Irish wolfhound. And this one here looks like Ellie. That's a dachshund. Lots of different types of dog. Here's a dotty spotty dog. It's a Dalmatian. And this dog here looks a little bit like the dog in today's story. And the story's called Give a Dog a Name. Grandpa's new dog lay in its basket and would not come out. He needs a name, said Dad. Should be easy. Come on, Spot. Good Spot. But the dog did not move. Let me try, said Mum. Come on, Rover. Good Rover. But the dog did not move. My turn now, said Jenny. Come on, Rex. Good Rex. But the dog did not move. What about me? Said Anthony. Come on, Anthony. Good Anthony. Yeah. But the dog did not move. That's your name. Anthony is not a dog's name, said Dad. You'd better let me try again. Come on, Ginger. Good Ginger. Meow. But the dog only wagged its tail. That's a cat's name. Ginger is not a dog's name, said Mum. I've got an idea I think will work. Come on, Billy. Good Billy. But the dog only wagged its tail. That's a goat's name. Billy is not a dog's name, said Uncle John. This will do the trick. Come on, Jumbo. Good Jumbo. But the dog only wagged its tail. That's an elephant's name. Jumbo is not a dog's name, said Aunt Julie. You need someone who understands dogs. Come on, Sparky. Good Sparky. But the dog only wagged its tail. That's a budgie's name. Sparky's not a dog's name, said Jenny. I know a name he will like. Come on, Kermit. Good Kermit. But the dog only wagged its tail. That's a frog's name. Kermit is not a dog's name, said Anthony. Let's give up. I can't think of any more names for him. Just then, Grandpa came down the stairs. We can't get your dog to come out of his basket, said Anthony. And we've tried every name we can think of, but no name seems to fit him, said Jenny. That's odd, said Grandpa. I never have any trouble. Come on, Rosie. Good Rosie. Then Rosie ran to Grandpa, wagging her tail. And she and Grandpa both went out to play. Dog. Dotty dog. Digging dog. Dotty dog digging for his dinner. Dinosaur. Dog. Dinosaur. Dog. Dinosaur. Both these words start with the same letter. Watch how Magic Pencil writes it. All the way round, up and down and flick. all the way round, up and down and flick, all the way round, up and down and flick, all the way round, up and down and flick, all the way round, up and down and flick, all the way round, up and down and flick, all the way round, up and down and flick, all the way round, up and down and flick.
This old man, he played one, he played knick-knack on my drum. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, rap! This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played two, he played knick-knack on my shoe. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, rap, rap! This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played three, he played knick-knack on my knee. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, rap, rap, rap! This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played four, he played knick-knack on my door. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, rap, 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 rap! This old man came rolling home. Bye!
If you'd like an order form for the notes that accompany this series, please ring BBC Education Information on 081 746 1111. Also on that number you can get an order form for the videos of Favourite Stories, Volume 1 and 2 from Words and Pictures. All the stories in the videos have been specially selected to support reading development in primary schools.
BBC2 brings you the UK premiere of the recently rediscovered Messe Solennelle. The work of Hector Berlioz, enthusiastic exponent of French Romanticism and the leading French composer of the 19th century. Messe Solennelle, live from Westminster Cathedral, Tuesday 9:30 on BBC2.
Because of a waterlogged course, this afternoon's racing at Ascot has been cancelled. So on BBC One shortly, instead of Sport on Friday, there's film comedy, starring Lawrence Harvey in The Spy with a Cold Nose. This is BBC Two, where we head for Blackpool for the final session of the Conservative Party conference, introduced by Sheena MacDonald. Later than scheduled, in just under 10 minutes, this afternoon's film, Riffraff. But first, the news on BBC Two with Moira Stewart.
Good afternoon, and the Prime Minister has urged his party to work together to restore Britain's economic health. He told the Conservatives at their conference in Blackpool that his party would lead the country back to the basics of sound money, free trade, traditional teaching, and respect for the family and the rule of law. Mr Major also warned that disunity in the party would lead to opposition.
John Major set off for his speech with two tasks: to point a way out of the problems of the past year and to bring together all wings of his party, including the newly resurgent right. His answer was a step back beyond even Thatcherite conservatism.
It is time to return to those old core values, time to get back to basics, to self-discipline and respect for the law, to consideration for others, to accepting responsibility for yourself and your family and not shuffling off on other people and the state.
He stressed a tough approach to crime and announced a new attack on pornography.
A new offence to make the possession of child pornography a crime that can lead to imprisonment.
It was a confident performance with joking asides about Lady Thatcher's memoirs. He would not be writing his for a long time, he said, but he did demand an end to disunity.
Disunity leads to opposition. Not just opposition in Westminster, but in the European Parliament and in town halls and county halls up and down this country.
The speech had a warm reception here, but the key question is whether it will have done enough to reconcile the increasingly confident factions at Westminster.
A High Court judge has ruled that radiation from Sellafield in Cumbria did not cause cancer in the children of 2 former employees.
The family started their court action 12 months ago. In one case, a baby died in 1962. The other child involved became ill with cancer but was successfully treated. The families claimed the illnesses were caused by both fathers being exposed to an overdose of radiation at Sellafield, which was passed on genetically. But the High Court judge today said there was not enough scientific evidence to support that claim. Later, the family's lawyer said they were all disappointed and considering an appeal. It was an important test case as 40 other potential claims depended on the court's decision.
A post-mortem examination has confirmed that the child murderer, Leslie Bailey, died from strangulation. Bailey was serving life sentences for his part in the murder of 3 boys. His body was found yesterday in his cell at Whitemoor Jail in Cambridgeshire. Police haven't ruled out suicide. Princess Margaret's son, Viscount Linley, has married Serena Stanhope this afternoon in a service at St Margaret's Church, Westminster. Among the 650 guests were the Queen Mother and Prince Edward. Serena Stanhope arrived at the church a fashionable 2 minutes late. More news at 6 o'clock on BBC1.
Hello there, very good afternoon to you all. The radar's showing the weather picture quite clearly. Heavy rain coming in across the southwest, pushing there through the central regions and gradually northwards through Wales. Some of it's going to push into some southeastern parts of England as we go through into the evening. So it's going to affect those most western and southern areas as we go into the early part of the night, but then gradually dying back, showers just holding on through the south and western coastal areas. Inland, the clearer skies allowing mist and some fog patches to form. Over central parts of England there, the temperature's down to about 7. Away to the north and east of Scotland, thicker cloud coming in, bringing rain into those areas, and that's going to continue to push westwards as we go through the day, making some parts of Scotland fairly wet and miserable. Elsewhere, sunshine and showers, the showers dying out from the southwest later.
This is BBC2 in the southeast.
Good afternoon from Newsroom South East. The main rail union, the RMT, is calling for 2 more strikes on the Central Line. It will also ballot its 10,000 members for an all-out strike. The decision follows yesterday's 24-hour stoppage on the Central Line, which badly disrupted services. 2 more strikes are planned for next Thursday and Thursday, October the 21st. But the RMT is also inviting the arbitration service ACAS to help resolve its dispute with London Underground over disciplinary procedures. A Kent doctor could face prosecution following the death of a patient in a hospital mix-up. The man was being treated for leukemia when he was given a lethal injection.
60-year-old cancer patient Percy Billington was undergoing chemotherapy at Chatham St Bartholomew's Hospital when he was given an injection in the wrong part of his body. According to reports, the medical team realised with horror what they'd done the moment they'd done it. But despite every effort to save him, Mr Billington died shortly afterwards. A woman doctor has been questioned by police and a file is to be sent to the Crown Prosecution Service. A hospital spokesman said the doctor concerned has now been moved from surgical work to a research post.
The hit-and-run driver who killed an elderly woman in the Old Kent Road appeared at the Old Bailey today. The court heard that 83-year-old Nancy Joyce had just bought a packet of seed for her 2 budgies when she was hit by a stolen car. She was knocked 12 feet in the air and the driver then ran over her body, dragging her 100 yards along the road before making off. 25-year-old Lee Brown from Bermondsey had been released from jail 3 months before and was banned from driving. He said he was taking his girlfriend to buy some heroin and they'd had a row. He was remanded in custody for pre-sentence reports. 4 officers in Lambeth's housing department have been suspended following allegations of blue movies being made in the town hall. Lambeth Council says a special panel's been set up to investigate the claims. It's confirmed that one of the officers is a senior member of staff. A Jewish family from Twickenham in Middlesex, which was subjected to a 3-year hate campaign by neighbours, has been awarded more than £8,000 compensation. That's it. Now the weather forecast with Richard Edgar.
Thank you very much. Well, the radar picture shows some showery rain just pushing into the western side there of London. That's going to affect, I think, the region through the night. Many places dry, but some showers extending eastwards as we go through the night, then tending to die back just to the coastal fringes there to the south overnight. Elsewhere, clearer skies inland, bringing some mist and fog patches by dawn. Not too cold night, lowest temperatures there down to about 8 degrees. And then tomorrow, another day of sunshine and showers. The showers tending to ease off as we go into the afternoon, and the best temperatures around about 15.
Hailed as a landmark series in television history, Kenneth Clarke's Civilisation returns to BBC2 tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Energy, vitality. All the great civilizations or civilizing epochs have had a weight of energy behind them.
But behind the glittering career, Clarke led a complex private life.
He was unable to forget the fact that he'd been so indiscreet and so often, and to so many people, and sometimes on the same evening.
At 8:10 this Sunday, a revealing biography charts his extraordinary achievements. And at 11:10, Love Tory, the highly acclaimed film portrait of Mrs. Thatcher's controversial former minister, Alan Clarke.
She had very pretty ankles and little feet. She allowed me what are called liberties.
Father and Son, this weekend on BBC2.
International jazz giants take centre stage, all next week at midnight on BBC2. Midnight Jazz starts Monday at 12:05 on BBC2.
Well now, because of our extended coverage of the Prime Minister's speech, there's a change to the afternoon schedule here on BBC2, which means we'll be unable to bring you Top Gear, planned for 5:30. But now, later than scheduled, we come to our film. An industrial dispute gets out of hand with disturbing repercussions as Spencer Tracy and Jean Harlow star in Riffraff.